Sorry, I was talking to myself. Sorry, I hope the screen share is visible to all.
Yes, Anubhav.
All right, great. So we're talking about UPES. A lot of people have asked me, what does UPES stand for? I'm not going to disclose it now, but during the course of the time, you will get to know what UPES stands for. But currently, UPES is a university with a purpose. In this university, we have over 40 acres of land where this entire university is based out. We have two campuses, both based out of Uttarakhand. They are about 4 or 5 kilometers away from each other. We have about 206 plus multimedia enabled classrooms, 126 laboratories, 2,139 hostel beds, a combined seating of 10,900, which has gone up to about 15,000 now, a network of 7,000 computers. The library alone has a seating capacity of 732 students with 34,000 square feet. What UPS is a multidisciplinary university. Now, when I say it's a multidisciplinary university, because we are 8 schools in UPES. We have a school of law, we have a school of business, we have a school of engineering, we have a school of medical sciences, we have a school of modern media, we have a school of computer sciences, apart from the school of design, okay, and a school of life. Now, school of life is very interesting because nobody else offers a school of life. The school of life is basically, if I, very honestly, it's a very passionate subject. If I talk about school of life, we will end up talking about school of life for the entire duration of the time, but I'm going to just give you a gist of what school of life is. It provides a learning pathway for students from diverse backgrounds. Generally in a university, the learning pathway is decided by the students who can afford a university. It nurtures the students' problem-solving ability. It makes students future ready while focusing and strengthening on their learning abilities and independent thinking. It equips students with the necessary skills that lead to success for not only a professional life, but also the personal life of a student. It helps motivate students to develop intellectual and critical thinking of each and every student. So school of life is something which is very unique to UPES. Apart from the 7 schools that we have, we have over 500 plus recruiters who come to our campus across all schools. We have academic collaboration with industry leaders. We have state-of-the-art infrastructure, 150 plus specializations courses across all the schools that I've just mentioned. We are UGC recognized. We are a NAC accredited university, and the first Indian university to be awarded a QS 5-star for employability and facilities. Now, when I say employability and facilities, it should do away with all the concerns about whether I get a job after I do a course at UPES. And as I said, over 40 acres of twin campus in the beautiful foothills of Himalayas, where it's actually when you walk out of your room and you step out in the campus, it is such a beautiful atmosphere. And I would really suggest Sumit that he should get all his students to come and visit UPES in one point of time. So accreditations, as I said, we are a UGC, which is University Grants Commission. For law, we are Bar Council of India accredited. For UGC, we are also Distance Education Bureau accredited. We are IQAC certified, which gives us a NAC A certification. We are ISO 14001. We are also on the National Board of Accreditation, what is more interesting than all of this is the International Association University member of IAU. So because of all our exchange programs, if you get to do a degree outside, we are also a member of the IAU. So you can get a degree which is the corresponding credits here in India. Apart from that, the other degrees that you see, these are all accreditations and recognitions that UPS has. Recognitions, we've been rated 5-star, we've been rated the #1 university in Uttarakhand, we've been rated the #1 university in law, we've been rated the most upcoming university in design, we've been recommended as the best academia, plus we're also amongst the top 50 universities in Asia for a great place to work. So, I mean, some of the recognitions that I'm talking about. So when I talk about UPS, this is the picture that I foresee. You know, on the left, which is the building that you can't see, just the wall, is the School of Design. Okay, and there is a pathway to the library, which is on the right. And all you can see now, if I stand here and I turn 360, this is the view that I'm going to get. It's all mountains across. And such a beautiful setup for the university there. Why School of Design? Now, one of the questions that comes across more than ever, because this is more than 2 decades old university, and School of Design is about launched in 2014, to be very precise. We're just 8 years old. And because UPES, it provides an industry-ready curriculum. We are a state private university, hence we control our curriculum. We are state-of-the-art campus. The collaboration with the industry, as I will talk in my future slides, is unparalleled. The question, which I didn't want to answer then and I want to answer now, is UPES stands for University of Petroleum and Energy Studies. We started close to 3 decades ago as an engineering university, where we used to train students for petroleum and energy studies. But over a period of time, we've evolved into a UPES, which is a university for purpose. And one of the biggest advantages is that there is a lot of multidisciplinary learning which happens. All our projects that our School of Design students do, they are done in collaboration with either an engineering student or a law student or a health sciences student or a business student, where they have an idea, you have an idea, you collaborate and you make it presentable. Okay. What we do across School of Design is that School of Design offers you not only a world-class infrastructure, not only experienced faculty, not only preferred choice of recruiters. By the way, this is the only university which offers more than 600 recruiters who come on campus and recruit our students. The highest package that we've had is 44 lakhs for a student. We have live projects, industrial tours, workshops, seminars, guest lectures, and so on. What do we offer? Now, what we offer is a series of courses in undergraduate and postgraduate. We have, now, as I said, this university started as an engineering university with energy and petroleum studies. Our core and our stronghold was transportation. That's how we started. And the only university who started with a postgraduate course as the first course in the School of Design. 2014, we started a post-graduation course in transportation and mobility design. From that day till today, we've had recruiters come back to us again and again, and over 2016 till 2021, for the last 6 years, we've had 100% placement record for all our students. We also have introduced a BDes and an MDes program for students who are looking to do masters in their respective fields, so that instead of putting in 6 years into that, they can achieve a master's degree in the 5 years that they work with us.
Sir, I have one question.
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt you. That if a student wants to go for BDes plus MDes program, so will the entrance will be different and the degrees they will be getting will be a separate BDes and separate MDes, or it will be an integrated degree which will be called MDes?
They will get a separate BDes and a separate MDes. If a student plans to drop out after the 4th year and doesn't want to continue to an MDes degree, he will still get a BDes degree.
All right. So they have option of continuing after. So they don't have to choose the integrated course in the first year. They get to choose this course in the 4th year.
No, they get to choose the integrated course in the first year itself.
All right.
Now, why I'm saying is they get to choose the first year integrated program is, out of probably 1,000 students who've enrolled with us till date, I can count on my hands a couple of students who dropped out in a 5-year integrated program, is all because of their personal reasons. Anybody would not like to drop out of a UG plus PG option of a 5-year if they're getting an MDes in it by adding an additional year to their UG program. Generally, they will put in 4 years plus 2 years.
Yes, sir. So it means that it will be a 5-year program, correct?
It will be a 5-year.
5-year, and students will be eligible for going for PhD after doing the integrated program.
Absolutely, they will.
Thank you, sir.
They can go across and enroll into any Indian university after passing out from UPES. I'm not naming the courses. They're pretty visible and everybody would have a fair idea of what it is. What I would love to mention is what our strongholds are. We are very, very strong in transportation, mobility, and communication, graphics, anything which comes under communication graphics, which is gaming, UI, UX, animation, industrial, all of these products. What we have introduced recently is fashion, which is about 3 years old, and lifestyle and accessory design, which is about a year old. Yes, Sumit.
So I'm asking question in between only because then it will be students will have a clear idea because the screen is in front of us. So sir, if a student is going for, as I can see that we have graphic and communication design, and we can also see that we have the course of animation and VFX. So if we are going for, like, you have another course of graphic design and interaction design.
Yeah.
So interaction, animation, graphic design, will it be a part of graphic and communication design also, or graphic and communication has absolutely separate thing to offer?
As expected out of you, Sumit, you've got it right there. A lot of overlap is there. Absolutely, there is a lot of overlap there because the overall program is communication. You know, while there are communication design course, but there is a focus which is paid on from the 3rd year onwards. Instead of doing a specialization in the last year, from the 3rd year onwards, there is a lot of focus which goes into whether the student want to get into UI UX, whether they want to get into game design, because at UPES, the place that I love to spend my entire evening is a gaming zone, where we have virtual games, we have, I'm forgetting the name, you put on a helmet and the entire room's turned into something else, and I can spend about an hour.
The VR room.
VR. I can spend about an hour cutting fruits or doing whatever that I want there. So they have an entire game design arena there. We have a UI UX separately. The only institute to have probably over 200 Syntech tabs there for the students. We have a separate, absolutely separate focus on animation and VFX. What people don't understand the difference between gaming and VFX and animation and VFX They're very, very, very different. That's what I understood when I went to UPES, because animation and game design are two very, very different aspects. Animation, only characteristics which are used in gaming are the only common factor. Beyond that, they're very different courses.
Sir, I have one more question is that, as I can see that in the BDES program, we have a course of industrial and product design, which sounds comprehensive that this course must be having industrial as well as the product design. And in integrated program, we have only industrial design. So I am very much sure that the industrial design will have the product as well in the integrated program as well.
Actually, for the designers across the globe, a product design is not a course. A product design means industrial design.
Now the students are quite new here and they are in their class 12th only. They must be, they have a lot of doubt regarding what industrial design has to offer and what product design has to offer. Can you please differentiate between these two courses?
Okay, so you know what? A product design is an amalgamation of what you see here as lifestyle accessory design and industrial design. You know, where I talk about industrial design, it purely talks about product design. And a product design can be products, equipments, everything that are used for household, for factory, for business, for whatever uses. Those are products that come under industrial design, where when we talk about lifestyle and accessory design, they are byproducts or accessories which are used, for example, pillowcases, pillow covers, lampshades, wallets. So those are accessories, you know, and they're lifestyle accessories. So if you actually understand how to develop a product, developing an accessory becomes a little easier.
If a student is going for transportation and mobility design, I'm very much sure that a little part of product will be also covered in the transportation.
Absolutely,
and mobility.
because at the end of the day, a car is also a product.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
sir, yes, sir, please carry on.
So what I was saying was that a car at the end of the day is also a product. But if a student, since we have very strong footholds in the transport department and the entire area of transportation, we get a lot of projects from the likes of Maruti, BMW, Suzuki, you know, so on and so forth. So there are students who very specifically wants to do transportation design. When they do transportation, it is not limited to road transport.
Okay.
It covers all the three modes of transport.
All right, I got it.
But at the same time, that is very specific to transport.
All right. Now, there is a very interesting course called Interior and Retail Spaces. So for now, whatever colleges we have spoken about, they have interior and architecture. So this is something nearly like something new for me also, that interior and retail spaces. So what this course is all about, sir?
So very honestly, we have a few modules which talks about retail. As we understand, going forward, retail is going to be a very integral part of our social life here. And the largest, as we see, every mall, every city has an anchor store, right? And a large part of it is how do we design that store? When a customer walks in, where does he get his consumables? Where does he get the family consumables? What attracts, what does not attract? So there is a couple of courses which specifically focus on retail. And at the same time, we're talking about interiors throughout the course.
Okay.
While the course talks about interiors, where you are able to talk and interact with architects on how to design spaces, but when you think of an architect, you only think about house. Nobody thinks of a big bazaar when you talk about interiors, and nobody thinks about a hypermart like a Spar. So the retail space talks about such places which are actively looking for people to come and design their spaces.
All right. So after going through all the courses, I have a couple of more questions. Number one is that how different it is, the courses offered in UPS is different from the design and fashion colleges is offering. Like I will call it an industrial design college. So how come it will be like, how it is different from NID or NIFT or any other college who are offering design, art or fashion? So
See,
whether if it's an industrial course, so whether science is something you are expecting a basic from student that, or something like the student should have a bent of mind towards technicality and interest towards that, what UPS is expecting from the student?
one of the biggest advantages that UPS has is the number of schools that UPS has. Okay. So what we are looking at from a student is the inclination to learn, and period. That's what we are looking at. What we give to a student is from the time they have an inclination to learn, to develop them holistically, personally and professionally as a successful individual.
Okay.
Now that's the question that you asked me, how UPS is different. How UPS is different will not be defined by the courses that I offer. How UPS is different will be defined by the school of life that I offer. You know, nobody teaches you how to deal with situations. That is what school of life teaches you.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. How it is advantageous at UPS is because the projects that we do are all collaborative.
Mhm.
So there is a guy in engineering, transportation engineering, who decides on making say a single wheel scooter. I'm just giving an example of the out of the head because I saw something similar when I went to UPS last time. He was designing a single tire scooter. Okay. Now he can make the functionality the way it is, and he will have the basic infrastructure there. But if you have to make that scooter sellable, that is where my team comes in. The School of Design students come in. So every project that School of Engineering does, School of Law does, School of Health Sciences do, School of Business do, my School of Design students come and help them. If it's business, whether it's to do with presentations, website, my communication students do it. Whether it is a product, my product or accessory students do it. If they're looking at an idea, even a gaming student and an animation student projects in the manner there that the other school cannot. So the
Yes.
projects that come out of UPS are actually amazing. That is probably one of the reasons we have the highest number of patents in Uttarakhand by students and faculties joined together.
Okay. All right. Okay, sir. The things are quite clear for me for the courses. I'm sure student must be having a lot of question and they will surely ask you. The
Sure.
students will have, if you have any question, you can raise your hand and I'll ask you to take the question. So my next question is that now the entrance examination, since it's a industrial college, what kind of students, like if a student is deciding that yes, they want to get into UPS or IIT or MIT, any college like the industrial ones, what the college is expecting from the student? आपको क्या expectation होती है कि student का bent of mind क्या हो और वो क्या सोच के college आए?
Okay. Can I Sumit, park that question because I have a couple of slides more to run through.
Yes, sure.
And I can come back to that.
Yes.
What I want to talk about is our international connect that the students have. Under the exchange program, especially for School of Design, we have students across universities. And I'm naming probably 6-7 universities here, but when I run you through my next slide, this is the kind of outreach that we have. You know, where we have tie-ups with students, with universities across the globe, and the advantage of being a part of the GUS network, where we have a lot of exchange programs and a lot of students who go abroad for internship programs.
Okay.
As far as the infrastructure is concerned, state-of-the-art laboratories where we have a laser cutting machine, a 3D printing, a clay studio, paint studio, CAT-MAC, all of that available for students to do it on a regular day in, day out basis. One important thing that I would like to mention, which is unique at UPS, is the scholarships. It's a state private university, okay? And while it is a state private university, I'm going to start from the right where I talk about domicile, where every domicile of Uttarakhand is offered a 33% scholarship. That is over and above any other scholarship that you get. So if, and I'm coming to the bottom left, which is the girl child scholarship. If you're a girl, and we are promoting girl child, sorry boys that we're promoting it, but that's the way it is. We are as a group, we are empowering women, and as a group, we are also talking about women leaders to take 50% of our positions in the organization as a whole. And we think that our role starts from right at the bottom, where we encourage more and more girls to come and join higher studies. It's not about joining UPS, it's about joining higher studies, where the skewed ratio of male versus female is still 64 to 36%. We are doing our bit of contribution to make it 50-50. Okay, and hence every girl child gets a 20% scholarship for all 4 years, irrespective. There are certain terms and conditions to be met from second year onward, which is to do with attendance and your percentage. Apart from that, it's a 20% scholarship. So if you're a girl who's based out of Uttarakhand and so you get a 33% scholarship plus a 20% scholarship. Okay. Even if you're not a girl and not from Uttarakhand, if you're academically well, if you score more than 80% marks in your 10th and 12th, we offer scholarships to all academically performing students, but those are limited seats. 10% of the seats are reserved for each program. Apart from that, we also offer seats to national exam performers. So if you've appeared in NIFT, NID, UC, which are national exams, if you perform well, if you have a rank, which is based on our website listing, you can get a scholarship from a 25 to 100% scholarship in our college. And at the same time, these are testing times where COVID has been raising havoc across. We have COVID warrior scholarships for any government or teachers who are frontlining during the COVID times, teaching in hospitals. So there are categories also listed there. We are offering scholarships for those students as well. Employability, as I said, from 2016 onwards, we've had 100% placement record for all our School of Design students. These are the prominent recruiters who work with us, as you see. So Tata's, since they were worked with us in transportation, they worked with us in technologies. They've also worked with us in TCS. They worked with us across, and various other Museum of Goa, Escorts, all of these have worked with us and have been recruiting students from UPS. I'll not bore you with this. Some snapshots of the life at campus at UPS. We have our own students' night where we get celebrities, plus students have their own jamming sessions, so on and so forth. And we also have students work at display across. So coming back to your question, Sumit, sorry, I've tried to rush through as fast as I could. Coming back to your question on how can students apply at UPS and what do we look for in a student at UPS? So how a student can apply at UPS is, UPS has one exam in April, around April, which is a post-board examination, wherein the student has to apply. Post the application, there is a a written examination. Earlier, the written examination used to be a physical examination, where the student used to be coming to a center and give a pen and paper examination. For the past 2 years, we've been doing an invigilated at-home examination. Now, when I say an invigilated examination, is that you can choose the time between 10 to 2 to start your examination. The time you start your examination, you get 3 hours to finish your examination. But it is an invigilated exam. Once you start an exam, you cannot exit out of the examination. And the camera has to be switched on, which monitors your movement throughout the examination. If we feel that there is somebody prompting, you're switching windows, which is not allowed because we get to see that, you're disbarred from the examination. So that is an invigilated exam. Post the invigilated examination, the results are declared between 7 to 10 days, post which you're called for a portfolio and interview session, after which the passing students are offered a seat at UPES.
A student who is appearing for UCED, so you also accept the UCED score as well?
Yes, we do accept a UCED score.
All right. So if a student has passed the UCED examination, they have the additional advantage and they can skip
we have two ways of doing it. One is a exam pathway and one is a non-exam pathway. So if the student chooses to do a non-exam pathway, they have to score a minimum of 80% in class 12. If they secure an 80%, they can choose a non-exam pathway. But if they choose an exam pathway, then they will have to go through the entire process. So for students who are getting a rank in UC, can also choose to do a non-exam pathway. But they will still have to appear for an interview and a portfolio.
All the students who are in class 12 won't be a 12 pass out. So how can they select the non thing?
So we get a lot of students, okay, who are pretty confident they're going to score a certain amount of marks, and they choose a non-exam pathway. Only a handful of them come back to us with a request that we want to do an exam pathway now. Okay. And that is absolutely acceptable, and we do change.
All right. Students, if you have any question, you can just raise your hand. I'm sure, you all are the one who have decided that, yes, you can get into the industrial design college as well. So if you have any question, you can always raise your hand and ask your question. Sir, tell me one thing, that the product design in UPS will be also covering the accessory design, or it will be restricted to product and industrial product?
So a product will moreover cover product and industrial design. The accessory design will be a small module of it. But when you talk about lifestyle and accessory design, which is also a part of, which is a separate course that we offer, we'll talk about in detail. Lifestyle and accessories, which will talk about jewelry as a separate section, household accessory as a separate section, and so on and so forth.
Okay. The most important question, the fee structure, the hostel thing, how much does it cost to a student who?
So what I tell everybody else is, if you're a girl based out of Uttarakhand, it's the cheapest college for you. But having said that, the fee structure is roughly about 4 lakhs per annum, between 4.5, depending on the course that you're getting into. Okay, we also have financial assistance in the terms that you can get education loans from various colleges, various banks across. I'm just trying to, while I'm speaking to you, sorry for my fumbling, because I'm just trying to open the fee structure here so that I can talk about the fee structure in detail while I'm talking to you. And I'm gonna share the screen so that everybody can see this. So there's nothing hidden here. This is the UPES website, and this is the fee structure. From our website here. So for a year, it is 194 plus 207, which is about 4 lakhs per annum. Okay. So which makes it about 17 lakhs per annum. Okay. And that's the fee structure which every student at UPS will have to go through. Obviously, the stay and the other expenses are separate, so they are not part of the fee structure that we've mentioned.
All right.
We have a lot of hostel beds. Apart from the hostel beds, we also have a lot of the entire belt where we have two campuses. There are more than 200 PG options or private hostels available. And when I say private hostels, it is not that these private hostels are not governed. Our registrar or our team would have a contact number of each and every private hostel within a vicinity of 5 kilometers. And we are regularly in touch, and there is a separate group that we deal with all these people.
Okay. All right. So now, once again, the basic question which all the students ask are, will be having a 2+2 program also with UPS or 3+1 program?
Very honestly, we have a 2+2 for the other courses. For design, we do not have a 3+1 as of now. We are in talks with a few students, but students who are joining us in 2022 will have an option of doing a 3+1. And that we're very sure of.
Okay. In all the courses?
In all the courses in design.
Okay. In all the courses in design. All right. That's good to know. Okay. Now, coming to once again, the basic question is that you have fashion design course as well. So if a student is looking for fashion design course, how good or how tough or how difficult it will be for them to do fashion? Because like fashion is something which I just got a question from a student that, sir, like going to the Dehradun and doing fashion. So can you please elaborate the type of infrastructure, teachers and everything for the fashion design course in UPS?
You're getting all my cards out, Sumit. I didn't want to say this earlier, but what you guys have to understand is that UPS is a part of the GUS network. And one of the strongest collaboration that GUS has in India for UPS is Pearl Academy. Okay. The curriculum has been designed in collaboration with the curriculum that Pearl has. We have a lot of exchange programs where for faculties, where a lot of our faculties do come and teach at UPS and UPS faculties come and teach at Pearl. So the Pearl fashion program is what inspires the UPS fashion program.
Okay.
Although the fashion is still at a very nascent stage in UPS, but trust me, when I talk about the infrastructure, when I talk about the faculty development, when I talk about the exposure, it is at par with the industry across.
All right. Okay. One more question, sir. Like, if suppose a student has decided to go for product design and they have taken admission in product design, can they move into industrial design in the second year?
They choose product design in the first year and they want to move into
industrial design or any other course in second year, because see, this is such kind of course where
the same thing, Sumit, as far as UPS is concerned. If they want to move into accessory design or into any other course, then they will have to file a formal request to their dean, the dean of that school, along with the course leader of the second course, will sit and decide. And yes, it is possible.
Since it's a university, I'm sure you will be following all the protocols what UGC needs to go for.
So although the students declare in the year one that they want to get into a particular course, but yes,
Okay.
If we feel that the student has the abilities to excel in a separate course, we would definitely allow.
As you said that there will be an interview and portfolio thing also. I have a very basic question that do you want to see the type of the inclination towards industrial thing in the portfolio, or it should be generic towards the foundation course?
Uh, Very tricky question, because if the student is inclined towards industrial,
Mhm.
he would have drawings which will show his inclination towards industrial. What we are looking at is not established designers, very honestly.
Okay.
What we want to see is an intent of the student that they want to get into this particular course. So a portfolio should actually be a journey from the day you decided you want to do something to the day you actually became, or you're equipped enough with skills to say that I want to get into this course. We want to look at that journey, and based on that journey, we will then decide whether you do justice with your portfolio.
Okay, I understood. So it means that in like all the other colleges, UPS, like all the other colleges, UPS do want to see the type of course you want to do, and they want to see the portfolio of the same type category. Okay. My next question is very simple, that if a student is coming, like a student have asked that if I'm coming for an animation course, will it also cover the type of video gaming, or can I do video gaming post graduation after doing the animation course?
So one of the beauties of our framework, we call it the Able framework, is that you get to do a major and a minor.
Okay.
If you want to do a major in animation, you can do a minor in game design.
Okay, you can
Forget
do
game design. If you want to do a major in animation, if you want to do a minor in, say, health sciences, you can. That's the advantage of the multidisciplinary learning. I want to do a major in a particular subject, and I want to do a minor in another subject. I have a small slide which talks about this. If I can, I would love to just show you a brief snapshot of what I have on engineering. Okay. Again, a snapshot from my website. You can go and see whatever. So my core is BTech computer science, for example.
Okay.
And I have specializations. I want to do artificial intelligence. I want to do blockchain technology. I want to do smart cities. I want to do big data, whatever. I can still choose a minor, which is graphic design.
Okay.
You know, so if I am a big data guy, I want to do graphic design, it's going to help me big time. If I am doing AI and I do a minor in robotics, it's going to help me big time. You know, so irrespective of the core that you're choosing, you can shuffle across the 7-8 schools and choose a minor.
So it means that student, even if they are doing fashion design, they can choose minor in any of these courses. You mean to?
Absolutely.
All right, that is very good to know, that student can choose among all the various courses, and the minor they will be doing will be valid across the like the four years. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, all right. So you have already spoken about the placement. You have already spoken about the international collaboration. You've already told us about the courses and curriculum. Since all the students live in Delhi, how can they virtually take a tour of UPES?
They can take a virtual tour of UPES anytime that they want. On a website, there is a virtual tour of UPES always available. You can take a virtual tour of UPES. Although I would still recommend, don't leave Sumit sir, eat his head so that he takes you on a physical tour of UPES. And I'll be very happy to accommodate all of you across to visit both our campuses at Dehradun. And I will be at the end of this presentation, Sumit. We'll share a virtual tour link where the students can virtually walk through our campus and decide what they want to see, what they don't want to see.
All right. So I think this makes everything clear. So once again, I'm wrapping it up that student for the entrance examination, there is a paper examination. You can also choose a non-examination. And if you have cleared the UC examination, you can also get through but you will be only exempted from the first level of examination. You still have to give the interview and portfolio round after that. All right. They have a multiple type of scholarship programs available for girl child, for the domicile. And if your score is above 80%, and you can choose out of all the courses. And this is one of the few colleges in India where you can do BDES as well as an integrated program of BDES and MDES, which is one of the finest thing to do because you will be a graduate as well as a postgraduate once you have graduated, and you will be eligible since it's a proper bachelor in design degree recognized by UGC. You can do anything. You can shift your career. You can move to CAT examination. You can give UPSC examination, anything after you have done the UPSC UPS course. So I think this makes everything quite clear. Thank you so much, Anubhav sir. And if student have any kind of doubt, anything, I'll again put up the questions and I'll ask you and then inform you. So thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone.
Thank you all for being such a patient audience. Thanks a ton.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye.